Do you know there's certain information in ATM business will make you a better success? Stay to the end of the video and I'm going to give you the top 5 ways so you can be an ATM guru. Hi, I'm Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises and the ATM Mastermind group page, and I help hundreds of aspiring ATM business owners go from 0 ATMs to ATM Business Pro in as little as 30 days. Always remember, here at PDQ Merchant Enterprises and the ATM Mastermind group page, we buy your freedom back one transaction at a time. Without further ado, the top 5 ways that I'm going to make you an ATM guru. Point number 1. Phil, I get this question all the time. Phil, when do I send my customers a 1099? How much money do they gotta make? I don't understand. Do you guys do it? Do I do it? Does my processor do it? Help me out. How does it go? Here's the rule of thumb. If your ATM generates $600 or more to your customer, you should send them a 1099. This will cover your fiduciary responsibility between you and your business owner at the end of the year. All it says is that your business owner has to make $600 or more. Now, some business owners, they get a little paranoid, like, oh, I don't know about this 1099, I don't want to do it. Okay, by law, this is what we have to do, is anytime you pay somebody $600 or more, you have to send a 1099. Now, there's some caveats to that, but for the most part, that's the rule of thumb. Now, we're a corporation. A lot of the businesses we deal with are also corporations. Now, the rule says that between 2 corporations, you don't have to send them a 1099, but you know what? We don't necessarily know that even some businesses say they're an LLC, some are an S Corp, some are a corporation, some are a C Corp. We just made a rule a long time ago. We say everybody a 1099 if they made $600 or more. So you can run your business however you want, but the federal law dictates that you should send them a 1099 if they made $600. So that's what we choose to do. And in the beginning of the relationship, we choose to get a W-9 filled out. So before we do business with anybody, we have them fill out a W-9. That way we have that information on file. So at the end of the year, we can send them that 1099. Now, the business owner is excited to get the ATM, so they'll give you the necessary paperwork you need. Towards the end of the year, when you're trying to scramble, or the next year you want to get that information, you don't have it, that's a tough time. And keep in mind, you're responsible to get that information over to that business. So do yourself a favor and get that information in the beginning. All you need is a W-9. Point number 2, Phil, do I choose a processor, or how do I do that? I'm looking at other processors. I don't understand what I'm doing here. Can you help me out? Absolutely. Here's what it is. You're going to go through either an agent who's going to go through an ISO, or you're going to go directly to an ISO. Now, those ISOs have, just like us, PDQ's an ISO, we have a direct relationship to the processor. Who are some of the processors? CDS, Columbus Data System, is a processor. Switch Commerce, that's a processor. FIS, that's a processor. And there's a few other ones. DNS is a processor. So some of these people are processors. Now, how do you get a relationship with a processor? You have to go through either an agent who goes through an ISO to help you out, or you go through an ISO. And then you have that relationship with those people. They have the relationship with the processors, and then they allow you to have an ATM and process transactions on that ATM. So your customer gets their money, you get your money, and the card holder or the merchant gets their money. That's how the whole process works. So if you're thinking about getting into the ATM business but didn't know where to start, stay to the end of the video and I will share with you our checklist on how to start an ATM business the right way and avoid costly mistakes along the way, even if you have 0 business experience. In this checklist, I will show you the 5 things you need to start a profitable ATM business so you can build a passive income source for your family. You'll have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success so you can build between $250 and $1,500 of passive income every single month. All right, let's get back to the video. Point number 3, Bill, do I buy a spare ATM to keep it ready to go in case I get a location? Or what should I do? Or I'm new to the game. Should I buy an ATM in case I get a location? So some of the older videos that we made, I was big on, you know what, buy an ATM, get it ready to go. You know what, after making almost 300 videos, I decided, you know what, in talking to a lot of people who are starting in business, I'm not so keen on that. I would rather you guys first get the location, get all ready, and then order your ATM. That way you don't have the ATM sitting. And you know what, if you have had the ATM sitting 2, 3, 4 months, now you know what, the warranty gets a little smaller and you're eating up the warranty. So I'm just more of a proponent right now of getting that location and ordering an ATM. You might have to wait a couple extra days, but this way, you know what, you're not blowing your warranty. You don't have an ATM sitting in your garage. And you know what, you didn't spend money that you didn't need to spend, because after all, the reason we get in the ATM business is to make money. Don't spend the money, wait a little while, get the location, and then get in the ATM business. Now, when am I a proponent of getting an extra ATM? When you got 5 locations or more, have that extra ATM. That way you need a part, you can pull it off the ATM. You can also, if you get a location, you can put that right in. So that makes it easier. But at 5 ATMs, I believe that now you become a little bit of a seasoned player and you're ready to rock and roll, and you know how to place the ATMs and you know how the whole procedure works. So you're more of a seasoned player and you don't have that big chunk of cash sitting out there waiting to make one. You can absorb that with your 5 ATMs. Point number 4, hey Phil, is my ATM waterproof? I want to put an ATM. I got a mobile event coming up. I don't know if it's my ATM waterproof, water resistant. What's the story? What happens if it gets wet? Okay, so here's the situation. The ATM is what they call virtually water resistant. So if you get a torrential downpour for a long period of time, you know what? You could damage the ATM. However, the ATM, if it gets wet a little, most of it's pretty self-secure, so it will tolerate snow and some water, not a ton of water, but a little water. That way, you know what, it'll still function. You don't have to worry about it. But if you're getting a typhoon, sideways rain, there's probably a chance that you could damage something if it gets wet. But for the most part, the ATM is virtually water resistant. And point number 5, disputed charge. Phil, what's a disputed charge? I heard about disputed charges. I'm not in the game, but I don't know what that is. All right, so here's what a disputed charge is. We call them a Regulation E violation, but basically what it is somebody takes their card, goes to put it in the ATM, they ask to take out $100, and the ATM doesn't dispense anything. Now, on the end of their receipt, what it shows is it requested $100, dispensed 0, nothing will be charged. Now, sometimes they do get charged when something wasn't dispensed. What happens is when they go to take that money out, let's say there's $100, it'll show that $100 was debited from their business account, but the bank 9 out of 10 times will realize, you know what, they didn't get their money, they credit their account. Now that 1 out of 10, what happens is the bank says, oh, they did get their account, their money, and it'll charge their account. That's when they file a dispute. So they'll file a dispute with their bank. The bank will call us. We let the agent know, hey, there's a dispute at Joe's Bar and Grill. And so they'll have to get journal entries that usually it's 2 before the one in question and then 2 after. Or if you're doing electronic journals, then you'll need to get all of those and submit that to your ISO, or sometimes your ISO will help you with that process. Therefore, and I would say probably, and if we want to go on statistics, about 9 out of 10 times the ones are disputed, they are false disputes. The ISO the agent will show that, you know what, the person did in fact get their money, or that they didn't get charged, and then this will show to the cardholder and the money won't be taken out. But if there was a communication error and it didn't go through and the cardholder did get charged, what will happen is that money will come out of the agent's bank account, and that surcharge will come out of that agent's bank account and be refunded to that customer. Usually that whole process is about 10 days to work through that whole process before the cardholder will get the money refunded. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen from time to time. So if you see a lot of these disputed charges, there might be an error with your communication. Maybe your internet's going down, maybe you're on old 3Gs, maybe you're on 2Gs. So you might need to update your communication device, or change it to a wireless, or just see what's going on. Maybe you're still on phone line and there's some kind of challenges. We used to be on the phone line. A lot of times there was noise or static on the line, so we eliminated some of that static. But now that we're in the internet game, it doesn't happen very often, but it could happen, especially if you're on internet, that could happen. So if you're interested in starting your own ATM business, I want to invite you to my free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist, where I'll share with you the 5 things you need to start a profitable ATM business so you can start earning passive income, make more money, and spend more time with your family. So if you're interested, click the link down below and start your ATM journey today. Remember, this is Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises, and the ATM Mastermind group page, where we buy your freedom back one transaction at a time. Thank you guys very much.